Hey y'all, it's Leslie. I'm going to be making a junk journal today, and I wanted to show you how I bound it. And this is the one that I made yesterday and didn't pay very much attention to how to do the binding, so mine is a big mess. First of all, I used a thicker twine than what you're really supposed to use. Thought it would be cute. It is on the outside, I like it. On the inside, it makes a horrible knot mess. So definitely not doing that this time. What I decided to do was I'm using Genevieve Designs Build-a-Bellishment kit, and I printed those at 100%. I printed them at 50%, and this would be printing it at 2-in-1 on a paper or printing it at 5x7. I printed it at 4-in-1, which is 25%, or this could be at the wallet size, 3.5x5, or the wallet size if you're printing it as a photo. The other thing that I did was I went through and I printed some things larger. For example, this is how this tag comes normally on her templates. I also took it and I enlarged it. When I enlarged it, this is what I ended up with. And so that made me some really big embellishments and some big tags to use in my covers, because I really love this canvas, the look of this canvas tag. And I thought that would be a great neutral background for my cover, because I mean, this is great. I'd love this as the cover, but I don't want to cover up that doily. I love it too much. So I'd rather use the doily as decorations. So what I've done is I've taken this tag and I've really grunched it up on the edges and dug in and made little divots and everything. And then I inked it up inside and out. I'll tell you about why I chose this. But first of all, after I made my signatures, which are basically these pieces of paper, I forgot to tell you yesterday when I posted this video, I forgot to tell you where I got this lined paper from. It is also a Genevieve Designs product. When you buy the Paper Dreams bundle, there is a Paper Dream bonus. And it has a watercolor page that she did with sprays and things, some of her India ink sprays. And then it's got some of these lined papers. So I chose the one that had the vertical lines so that when I turned it sideways, it would be horizontal. And I did those again at 100%, 50%. Genevieve Designs Paper Dream bundle. And this was the Paper Dream bonus, but it was included. So based on that, this is my signature then. Oops. This is my signature. What I did was I looked at this tag and I said, okay, would this hold my book? And I just opened it up and I was like, yeah, it's got all this extra space, but you know what? I could use that for some sort of tie binding for it, so I'm okay with that. The next thing I did was I watched the video on how to do the pamphlet stitch, and I'll link below to what I did. I had to kind of do my own thing too, because again, I'm not using a set book size like she did. Mine's a little bit bigger and it's a little bit taller, and because it's too tall, it's not exactly the same height, then I have to account for that. So instead of using my binding to start my holes, I started with my signature. And let me line this up again just a minute from where I was manhandling it so much. Okay, so I took some scrap paper, just a big stack of scrap paper, and this is where I've done some printing and messed everything up. And I used my Tim Holtz ruler, which has the centering side, and on this side it has 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I use this ruler more than any other ruler, and I've had a steel ruler that I used to use and I thought it was the best ruler ever, but once I got this centering ruler, it will help you so much in your crafting. So I lined this up and I looked at it and I said, okay, I want it a little ways in from the top and a little ways in from the bottom. And I looked and there was a black line there, and can you even see the black line? Let me get you a little closer. Okay, so I looked and there was a little black line there, and I thought, okay, I'll put a hole here that's 1.5 up and 1.5 from center down here. And so I just did that. And on this, I did a thicker stack too. But on this scrap paper, when I pressed my awl, it's just an awl from the hardware. Actually, I stole this out of my husband's toolbox, but you can get it at the hardware store. And I poked my holes. That way, everything was lined up and I know exactly what to do for the next one. Then I took my cover and I found the center. And once I found the center, I made a mark that is 1/8 of an inch on each side of center. And that way I knew where to score. So I laid it on my scoreboard and I scored, and that gives me a 1/4 inch gusset in between my two signatures. I hope that made sense. Then, after I scored it, I laid my cover down like this, and I centered the way I wanted it to be. And when I did that, I said, okay, this score line is going to be where this signature attaches. So I'll put marks where my holes were on the signature. And then I did the same thing by using the signature on this side, laying it next to this score line, and on the score, directly on the score line, I put my marks. Okay, then we're going to do the pamphlet stitch. If you want the knot to be in the center of your book, like I did yesterday, here, then you're going to start in the center hole on the inside. Where you start is where your knot ends up being. I want mine to be on the outside so that I can add beads or dangles, something. I don't even know if I'm going to add anything, but I want the knot to be on the outside based on what happened here. So we're going to sew this in, and I have chosen a thread. You can use crochet thread or a baker's twine, or you can use a metallic thread. What else could you use? You could use even wax linen thread or cross stitch thread. What is that called? Needlepoint thread? Embroidery thread. That's what it's called. I found a needle from my daughter's old sewing thing when they made those little plastic canvas things, and I'm going to use that. You're going to have a piece of thread that is, if you're doing the knot on the inside, you want to do it 2.5 times the length or the height of your book. Since I'm doing mine on the outside, I want it to be about 3 or 4, times the length. That way I have enough left over in the end to do some beads. And I don't know if I'm going to do beads or a charm or just a bow on the outside. But I knew I didn't want it on the inside. Okay, so we're going to start. And because I want my I'm just finding my holes again with the signature. There we go. You can hold your signature together with paper clips or with a gem clip. You can hold them together like this right here. And that's probably better because I keep having to find my holes. But I was doing it without. I am going to start in the center, and I'm going to start, it doesn't matter which one of these I start on, but I have to stay on that same score mark the whole way. So if I start on this one, then I've got to go to this one on the right hand side. And that would be the same way if you have 5 signatures, then you make sure that when you start on the one line, that you stay within that one line for that whole signature. Otherwise, you're going to have some crossing and it's not going to work. Okay, so I'm going to go in from the outside in this one, and then I'll come through. Maybe you can see my needle real good since it's pink. I know I can see it really well. My holes are pretty big. This needle's pretty big though, so let's see if it's going to poke through. Oh heavens. It's making a bigger hole. But you know what? I don't care for this journal. Maybe I'll find something else one day. Okay. Now, I only needed one of these. There we go. Alright, this doesn't have to be... Does this make sense? Just a little bit in there. Okay, now I'm going to go to... Where's my notes? So I used my little YouTube note folder. Now I'm going to go to the, let's see, to the top hole. So I'll go through my signatures at the top. And then I'll go through on this outside, on the right side, I'll go through the top hole of my book. And again, I gotta pull it through pretty tough. And once I do that, then I'm going to pull this so that it's taut there, but I don't want to pull it so that I lose my tail here. Okay, so next we're going to go all the way to the bottom. So we came out of the top, we're going to go all the way into the bottom. Well, trying to find the hole. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to straighten it up like it's supposed to be. I'll pull this string on the outside to make sure that it pulls this one tight. And I'm going to pull this one. Where's my needle? Lost my needle off of it. And then the last stitch that you do is back through the center. And what happens is your strings, both of your strings end up on the same side. So since I wanted mine on the outside so I can add something, mine are on the outside now. If you started in the center, if you went in from the center here, from the inside, I should say, then, because you always start in the center either way. If you went in from the inside, then your knot would be on the inside. But I thought mine would be really good on the outside so I could tie a bow, or I could add I don't know what to, and if I do, that's fine, and if I don't, that's fine too. And there we go. I'm done. Well, maybe the other half of the knot would be good. Okay, there's that pamphlet stitch. Now I'll do it one more time, but this time I'm going to do it in a little bit of fast forward. One thing I didn't mention a while ago is that this, when you're tying the knot here, you need to be careful not to pull too tightly because you could rip. It just depends on the strength of your signatures. You don't want to rip your holes more toward the center. And now you've got it finished. And your book closed. I don't even think, no I didn't. I didn't put the one that I wanted. Think about that, which signature you want to go up front. This is the signature that I wanted to be my front page, my first page. But now I've got this one. That's fine too because it's cute too. Okay, I'm going to, I think, let's trim this a little bit. I'm going to figure out what I want to do for a closure. I thought this was going to be really cute, that I could do it as pretend it's a tag and maybe do some sort of ribbon closure here. I think I'm going to leave the fringes and hairs. I don't know what they call them, but I think those are kind of cute in a way. So that's the junk journal. I've got it bound, and this is how it's going to be. And once I figure out how I'm going to close it and what I'm going to do with these on the outside, I will come back and I will show you final pictures. Hey y'all, I'm back. I have finished my journal, completely embellished it and decorated it. I've got one thing to add, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's get started. Look how pretty. Love all this little danglies and hairs. And it's got some round things that go on clothes. Whatever in the heck. And all I did was like buttons. They're buttons. I crisscrossed them through the holes and just added a little glue to kind of make it stick. This twine is thin and flexible, so I really like that. But it didn't want to say tied. So everywhere you see this stuff, this twine on everything, it's got glue with it. So once I tied a bow or put a slip knot through a tag, I had to add glue. So there's glue inside of each one of those. Okay. On the cover, I made a fluffy bow. I've got a template if you want me to share the template with you. If you want to see how to use that template and get a copy of that template, then just let me know and I'll work something out for that. On the cover, I have done some of the embellishments from the Build-a-Embellishment kit. Everything is from the Build-a-Embellishment kit. And honestly, other than the twine, the buttons, there's 2 charms, and this ribbon, everything is from her Build-a-Bellishment kit. I did use lined paper from her Paper Dream template. It was the Paper Dream bonus, and she put some lined paper in there. And the only reason I used it is because it has this, I told you before, it has this same color lines, but you could easily use just notebook paper that you've tea-dyed or just leave it white. That's the beauty of this Build-a-Bellishment kit, is if you want to use more white, use more white, because I mean, there's white in the background. It doesn't have to be so distressed. Oops. It doesn't have to be so distressed and old looking. You know, you can brighten it up a little bit. You know, for me, for this junk journal, this is my junk journal for Christmas holidays. This was basically me getting to know making a junk journal, because this is my first time. And I went through and I probably made every mistake in the book. But then again, the true definition of a junk journal is to use junk that you would throw away and turn it into a journal in some way. And there are no rules. So I didn't break any rules, really. Although the perfectionist side of me says I did. Okay, so back to what I was saying. I've got one of those little slides up here in the corner, and it's the one that says date and title. And then I put one of my teeny tiny little bows on there with the little twine in the center. Isn't that just so precious? I don't know why I'm talking like this, but it's cute. I put one of those pieces of tape. I don't know what those things are that she included in her kit, but to me they look like they were supposed to be little pieces of tape. And I added it because this is light and the slide is light. And when the two laid side by side on each other, they sort of got lost. The definition of the doily got lost. So by adding that piece of tape there, it may look odd and out of place, but it actually allows you to see the edge of that doily really clearly. So think of those kind of things when you're laying out your covers and your pages. I have attached a tag here, just coming out of the corner, just because I thought it needed something other than doily and lace to indicate that what's going on in the book. And because I didn't like this bland corner. That's mainly the reason. I really wanted chicken wire on the front cover, so I used a piece of the chicken wire, but I really trimmed it out all the way around. that wire is completely showing. You don't even mind that there's a little bit of that brown border. And another piece of the lace, I love using the lace. This is one of those doilies that I enlarged really big here. And before I go inside, let me show you one more thing. I found a little, I only have one of these, and it said made for an angel. And I lost my mom in 2014, and this is our 4th Christmas without her, and this will be the first Christmas that we've actually decorated. I lost my mom, I lost my mom's mom, my mom, and then my dad's mom, all within 6 months of each other. And my mom and my mom's mom were daily fixtures in my life. And so I'm an only child, and so that really, really was a very hard hit. My best friend, and so my Meemaw. So that was really rough for me. My mom loved angels. She had the little angel tree. So I found this little charm, and it was silver. Bright, shiny silver. I did not want that with this junk journal. So I thought, okay, I'll use alcohol markers. And we have Spectrum Noir. Couldn't find a blue that matched to save my life. And we've got probably 20 blues up there. Well, I found a little green, and I was like, okay, that little green, that'll work. When I got it up close, it looked fluorescent green. So I thought, okay, gesso. Gesso covers all the sins. So I covered it with gesso, and then the green started bleeding through the gesso. So I grabbed a blue-gray marker and went over it, and do you see how that went together? And now it is the perfect color. It blends and almost disappears on this paper. I couldn't be happier. And now I've got a little thing that reminds me of my mom for Christmas. So let's open it up. So each page I have done some different things. I put in tags. Some of the tags I added ties. This is just one of those little booklets. If it was too tall for the page when I got it in, I trimmed it down, which is what I did with this one. This is another tag. Notice this bow. It is just the base of a bow with twine in the middle. And the reason that is because I broke the bow top part. And since I broke it, then I thought, well, okay, I don't want to waste this. And I added twine and it'll look cute. So it's like a little bow tie. The last tag is permanently attached. Okay, then, oh, please. We don't have time for that. Then on this one, I've got that little piece that I had made, and I added a little bow to it, one of those teeny tiny bows. Oh, they're too stinking cute. And then when you open this up, you know, it's just a place to journal. And I thought it worked pretty good on this page. Again, another little tag. I did add the twine on this one. Most of them I did add the twine. A few of them I didn't. There's another little tag just from her printable. All of this is from her printable. I added a bow. This is probably a 50% bow. I can tell you for sure. It is definitely a 50% bow because this is the 100% bow. So I printed this at 50% or 2 pages in 1 or 5x7. So it just depends on your printer settings. And I've got a video I'll link. You can click the I card on the screen. There'll be a little I that pops out. If you click on that, it'll take you to the video that shows you how to do print differently. So I'll put that there. I don't mind that it gets a little mashed because it's still cute as it could be. Another one, another just page. And here's some tags and things that I've already shown you all this. There's another little tag. Now look on this page. Do you see this piece here? This is that broken bow. It looks like this. On the underside, it's half of it. And when I was gluing it together, I got a little rough with my tweezers or something, and it sort of tore, so I just ripped it apart mad. And then, so I had these 2 little loops, and I had already done this as a pull tab on another project, one of my gift card series. I'll link that one here below as well. But here, what I've done is I took a little twine and I tied a bow across it, just like that. And I'm going to attach this one. I've got a page set aside that I want to attach that, and I'll do the same thing as I did here. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to zoom you in. I'm tired of holding this up. Another page. Here's another. I did poke holes in all of the tags, but I didn't thread twine through them all, or ribbon of some sort. Love these little canvas tags. I think they're cute as they can be. This is Tim Holtz garment pin, and I have added a little clock because this is going to be my Christmas junk journal for notes and things, and this is to remind me you're already behind. Yes, I am. It's November 3rd and I'm already behind. You don't have to have Tim Holtz garment pins. You don't have to have fancy garment pins. Get you some cheap safety pins, and then color them with Sharpies. Just kind of dab at it so that it's a little, you know, it's not perfect. And then look, they're very similar, and I could use either one, but I wanted to show you the difference there. Get back to screen. Okay, another one with a teeny tiny little bow. Ooh, there you go. And one of those film strip pieces, I just put it in there. More pages. Tag from the printable. Tag from the printable that I've sewn in, and then I used the actual thread that I used from sewing. But let me tell you about this bow. I went around my fingers, I went around my template. I started with my fingers. Then I actually had to use the template because this is so fine that it's so fiddly that it was hard to deal with. And I went around about 10 times. And then when I went to tie it off, I had a bajillion problems. But I stuck with it because it made me so mad. So that is a bow of fury, is what that is. Here's another tag from the printable. I just added the tag twine to another one of those super cute bows. All these are at 50%. I didn't end up using any of the full size. I could have. It really wouldn't have mattered. Oh, that would be cute. I might go back and add some. This is the parchment paper. See, I'm tired and I have multiple sclerosis and it makes me lose my words. I'm sorry about that. This has two pockets. I've sewn it over. Parchment paper you can't hold with glue. I haven't tried Fabri-Tac, but I know that glitter glue doesn't work, art glitter glue doesn't work, and double-sided tape didn't work for me anyway. So here's a little tag from the printable, another little piece from the printable, because the lace makes a pocket and this is a pocket. Again, a little thing with a teeny tiny bow. I'll have to show you these because they're so sweet. You have to do this. If you don't do anything else, you've got to do those because they're so stinking cute. A little film strip piece. Okay, this is my place marker to remind me to put in this tab. So here on the back, I'm just going to put it up here as it's some sort of, as if it is some sort of pull tab. It's a place marker of sorts, I guess. Well, I put that glue way down too far. But you know what? It dries clear. So all will be forgiven. That will dry clear. See, it sticks off at the top of this tag. And that's the same place this other one is on the tag. So I thought it was a good, wow. So it's on the tag. I thought it was a good place to kind of mark two places in the book. This bunting, the banner that I did, I put the teeny tiny bows in the corner as if it's holding it up. That banner and those bows are just so cute. This is printed at 50%. In my other junk journal, my first one, this is the 25%. This is the ones that are the smallest. So if you can see the difference between the two, there's pretty much a difference there. The full size, full size is right here. So that would be the, oh geez, the 100%. And it's all in the way you print it. And like I said, I do have a video link below so that you can find out how to print like that. Another little tag from the printable. And again, I just printed the printable at 25%, at 50%, and 100%. And I cut everything out and put it all in a folder and started pulling out as I was going. There was not really any kind of rhyme or reason about it. I did follow some rules for myself when I was going through, just trying not to put, you know, the same design next to each other when I put the pages in. That's all. I didn't really care when I was making them. There's another little tag. This has 2 in this front lace pocket and 1 tag in the back pocket. Here's another little pocket from the doily. Those cute little bows. I don't know, I think that's just my favorite part is the bows. Jen said she was proud of the bows too, that was her favorite part of this album. I'll tell you what, it's just, they're too darling. And then here's a tag that's a booklet. And then I did a couple of tags here in the back. And these are just, this one isn't, yeah, they're both enlarged. These are probably at, I don't know. To enlarge them, I'll have to do a separate video on how to enlarge them. I'll do that one day on a video. If you want to know that, I'll do it. Jen tells you to stop and think about your magnets before you do all your matting and everything. Well, I didn't. And so when I got through, I was like, oh, it's not going to close. This is not what, you know, I changed my mind about what I was going to do. I was going to have some sort of bow tie, but I just wanted a big fluffy bow instead. So I tried to muck up my paper just a little bit and added in a magnet so that it would be hidden on the front underneath my ribbon. So when you close it, the magnets kept finding each other fine, but once I got it glued in and close it, I have to see it doesn't want to close. So I have to make a kind of bend the cover back just a little bit to get it to go. And for me, for my purposes, I don't care. But I just wanted to let you know, before you mat, stop and think about your magnets or how you're going to close it. Okay, I hope you liked this junk journal series, a couple of videos here and how to sew on paper and just all the fun that I've had with this. And if you like it, please give me a thumbs up. That really brightens my day. If you leave me a comment, that will be my best friend forever. And I just appreciate you watching, and thank you for stopping by. Please make sure that you subscribe so that you won't miss any more of my videos. I have Genevieve Designs templates linked in the description box below, and I also have her Etsy shop linked so that you can get your hands on your own Build-a-Bellishment kit. But this is the easiest way to start if you're a beginner. Get the Build-a-Bellishment kit, a file folder, and get started. The only things I use that I didn't get from Jennifer is, like I said, the twine, the ribbon, charms, and the glue. Everything else could have been done strictly with glue. No sewing required. You could have glued it all and been done in a third of the time that it took me. All of her templates are great, but this is a great little beginner kit. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will say goodbye again. Thank you very much for stopping by. See you later. Bye.